Everyone, my name is Kyle Hall, and I'm going to be talking about using technology in the classroom. So first, I'd like to take a look at the question, followed by the teacher response and input that I got from the three teachers that I interviewed. So when asked about what teachers' favorite part about Google's platform is, everybody agrees that it's Google Classroom. It's paperless, it's easy to get assignments out on a mass level to a lot of people. There's contact information for parents, so that's embedded right into the platform, which is useful. And teachers are able to give direct feedback right to the students, and that's very helpful. I asked this question, a lot of teachers had a lot of different answers depending on their background and what they taught. So instead of going back and looking at each individual app that each teacher wanted to look at, I'll just say that special education teacher wanted to look at more assistive technology, things that would help students with learning disabilities. Science teachers were interested in YouTube clips that could be embedded with questions so that students would interact with the video. And history teachers were really interested in virtual reality or things that allowed them to discover places that wouldn't be easily accessible with an entire classroom, such as the Holocaust Museum or something like a Holocaust. Using technology can be a great way to differentiate learning for different learning styles. You are able to get the same information out to all of your students using different mediums. So for some students, they might feel more comfortable with videos, some with written slides, audio, or virtual labs, depending on their strengths as a learner. So using different mediums to get that information out to the students and using technology to assess students in different ways is a great way of using technology to differentiate learning. When asked about the challenges of using technology in the classroom, teachers had a lot of different answers. Sometimes technology can be unreliable, as we all know. It takes time to teach new technology or use different websites to express yourself. So that can take time, and that can be a barrier to using technology. But every teacher, their main thing was that it can be a distraction and it can be hard to keep students on task. I was actually surprised about this question. I figured every teacher would say yes, that it does elevate the student's work. And most teachers did say that it allows for the ceiling of students' work to be higher. It can be very helpful with students with learning disabilities, but other teachers did say no, it does open up the possibility that students will just use it as a crutch. So I guess it is up to teachers to build those expectations and to show students how to use technology to take their work to the next level. I actually had one teacher tell me that she did not teach digital citizenship in the beginning of the year, and she noticed a big difference in students who were definitely plagiarizing or copy and pasting from the internet. So it's very important to teach digital citizenship. The teachers that did it said that they were successful in setting rules in the beginning of the year and then sticking to those rules and going back and reviewing those rules whenever they felt it was necessary. It's important to show exactly what plagiarism is and how it's detected and teaching when to cite. I chose a lesson plan I found online to analyze. And this is an interesting history lesson plan that takes a look at ancient civilizations and how resources are used and how decisions are made. So the objective is for students to gain an understanding about why certain ancient civilizations are more successful while others fail. Students understand the importance of natural resources and how to trade between the nations, and that can be essential to survival. So students use a web application to make key decisions to control an ancient civilization and trade resources with other classmates. And this is interesting because students then have the chance to play around and make different decisions. I really like this project because it is a student-based project that allows them to interact with each other in the class. So it meets a lot of the ISTE student standards. It allows these students to be knowledge constructors. They are able to create a meaningful learning experience through decisions they make with the program and the interactions they have with each other. They also are global collaborators. They're able to interact with their classmates to better understand important global concepts. This application also meets a lot of the teacher standards for ISTE. So teachers are going to meet the designer standard to create a learner-driven activity to accommodate learner variability. So this is a better option than a simple written piece of work or discussion. Maybe it could be used in conjunction with either of those, but it's a good program to allow students to create their own knowledge. It also meets the facilitator standard. Teachers are able to manage the use of technology to create a virtual hands-on learning experience in a virtual environment. All right, so when making my checklist for using technology, one point I think it's important to check all websites, links, videos, and equipment before the lesson to make sure that you limit all possible setbacks with technology. Second point is to make sure that students understand and follow the preset guidelines for using technology in a responsible and academic way to be a good digital citizen. Ask yourself, do students have the technological skills necessary to complete the activity or objective? If not, what skills need to be introduced or taught? Does the technology integrated into the lesson help students collaborate with each other or help to improve the overall quality of the work? And lastly, are there any assistive technologies that can be used to help students with learning disabilities or difficulties?